On the first hole, I hit a good drive with a mini driver and left myself 113 yards to a back pin with a 54. A good wedge shot left me with about an 8-foot downhill birdie putt, which was pretty straight, but I just slipped out and settled for a tap-in par. On the second hole, I also hit a good drive with a mini driver, about 300 yards, and had a short wedge into a front right pin. I was able to knock it close to 3 feet for a short birdie putt. I hit my third shot on the par 5 third hole out of the bunker a bit too hard and landed it off the green, but then executed a nice chip shot which left me with a tap in for par. On the fourth hole, I hit an 8-iron, but I hit a little behind it and a gust of wind picked up just as I hit the ball, so I ended up being short of the green and rolled down away from the hole. I landed my uphill chip shot shorter than I wanted, leaving me a 12-foot putt for par. I put a good stroke on the putt and was able to convert, so I was pretty happy about it. On the fifth hole, I hit another mini driver and was left with a sandwich from 106 yards to a front pin. I had an 18-foot putt for birdie and had a good read on it, but left it just short. On hole 6, I hit my first driver of the round. It missed a bit right, but it rolled down the cart path, and I was left with a pretty bad lie in the fescue. I was 200 yards out and hit my 5-iron, but I hit it pretty good, and it missed the green long left. But I hit this really good putt from just off the green to 4 feet. Unfortunately, I missed the birdie putt and had to settle for a par, so I feel like this is a shot I left out on the course. I hit my tee shot on 7 pin high, but it missed right. The grass is really short around the greens, so I decided to use putter and I was able to lag it to about 3 feet for a pretty easy putt for par. On 8, which is a short par 4, I decided to hit mini driver and made a really good swing, but it rolled out a bit too much into one of the many bunkers on the left side, and I had this 35-yard bunker shot, which landed just a bit short of where I intended. I hit my first putt a bit too hard past the hole, but was able to convert on the 4-footer coming back for par. On the ninth hole, I hit a good tee shot and was left with 163 yards from the fairway, but the ball was above my feet, and I ended up missing the green long left and short-sided myself. I hit a pretty good chip shot, but I missed the 5-footer for par, so I ended up at even par for the front 9. On hole 10, it was a mini driver into the fairway. My approach shot was short of the pin, and I had this 18-foot birdie putt. The speed was good, but the line was a bit off, so I had to tap in for par. On hole 11, I hit a driver to 111 yards with another 54-degree for a front pin, but it was short and just in the fringe. I had good speed with the birdie attempt and settled for a tap at par. On hole 12, I left my 9-iron short right into this really deep greenside bunker. I got it out of the bunker and had 13 feet for par. I had a good read and started my putt on line but left it just short. On hole 13, I had a good mini driver into the fairway and had a 60-degree from 87 yards to 12 feet, but I just slipped out on my birdie putt. On hole 14, I hit a knockdown 8-iron to the back pin and rolled the birdie attempt 3 feet by the hole for a pretty short tap-in par. On hole 15, which was playing the easiest hole both days, I had 194 yards in, but my 7-iron was bit right and ended up rolling away from the hole. In hindsight, I should have hit a higher shot as I had enough room on the green, but my chip came up short and I 2-putted for par, so I feel like I left another shot out on the course here. On the 16th hole, after a good drive, I had 66 yards to a back pin from the fairway with a 60 degree, but my approach failed to make it onto the upper tier. My putt had good speed and I had a short tap in for par. On hole 17, I hit another good drive, but I chunked my 6-iron from 200 yards, leaving my approach short. I then hit this chip shot, which I put to 9 feet. I failed to convert on the birdie putt and again had to settle for par. On hole 18, after a good drive, I had a sandwich from 108 yards to a back left pin location. The birdie putt had a chance to go in, but I left it just short and tapped in for a par and a 1 over 73 on the round.